Sariel, the second version. Don't mind the cosmetic, that's his actual face. Starting with the passive, all your allies from the 4 Archangel thing have increased crit damage by 8% for every buff on the battlefield. It doesn't matter it's yours, it doesn't matter it's the enemy. If there's a buff on the battlefield, you get like 8% more crit damage. Stacks up to 5 times, that means 40% more crit damage for every Archangel ally. His Grace doesn't work in Deathmatch. You basically decreasing the enemy's crit chance by 3% and the crit damage by 8% for 2 turns whenever you use a skill. And this thing can be put on every character on the game because this Grace is, yeah, you know how Graces work. You put him in the support slot and the dominant main unit get this Grace. So every time you use a skill up to 5 times, that means 15% less crit chance and 40% less crit damage. So you're basically blocking the crits of the enemies with this thing and put a ton of debuffs. His first skill is basically Zeldris, the festival Zeldris thing, but on AoE. So you cannot crit with this attack, but 75% of your crit damage are like stacked on top as a multiplier. Basically, the more crit damage you have, the more damage you deal, and the multipliers are 120, 180 and 300. And remember, this dude gets a ton of crit damage with his passive. His second skill is just a taunt, like the OG melee. You taunt and inflict damage equal to 240% when you get hit, so nothing special on rank 1, but on rank 2 it's already nice because 2-turn taunt and reducing damage by 40% and dealing more damage to the enemy. And on rank 3 this thing went just insane. I mean, rank 3 is so much more powerful, it's almost a new skill. You increase your own damage by 60% when you're in the stance for 2 turns and you are taunting, reducing incoming damage but also by 60%, and your wave like counter strike thing is 450% and then increased by 60% on top. That's like, whoa, a lot of damage. Whenever possible, try to use rank 3. I mean, compare this rank 3 to the rank 1, that's, yeah, almost nothing. His ultimate is just an AoE thing and dealing damage AoE and increasing by 50% for every stance you have, and you get a fuck ton of stances with his second skill. So where do you use him? I would say PvP. Where do other people use him? Like I said, in PvP and on floor 23. Okay, how do you build him? HP defense or attack crit damage, depends on your needs. His stats are pretty good for the fact that he's not even fully awakened. Obviously he has no crit chance, but he kinda don't need it anyway, and has tons of lifesteal. So with every counter attack he heals a ton of HP. Yeah, how do I build him? Nothing at all. Okay, just kidding, I use my other Sariel set. I mean, they are both like the same. I mean, both are just crit damage monsters, and yeah, crit damage is the main stat on the top. HP crit damage it is, but you can do whatever you want with your Sariel. Just remember, use him in an Archangel's team. Thanks everybody for tuning in. See you in the next one. As always, Zeldris for President, and